sending your donors a handwritten thank you note right after they donate? Yes, please. And all done automatically? Absolutely. So in this video, I will show you how to set up an automated workflow using Bloomerang, Zapier, and Handwritten to send a thank you note. So first thing first, when you go to sign up on Handwritten, go ahead on the sign up page, make sure you use the code Rachel, and it will give you $10 off your first order, which is awesome. That's probably like 3, 4, 5 cards maybe. So definitely worth it. Use the code Rachel. So yeah, get signed up, and then we will hop over here. And so so I am on the paid version. This is what I'm showing you is a 2-step version. You can also, there is a Zapier discount for nonprofits that I'll include in this video, but you can get a discount. I highly recommend the paid version. You can do so many more things, but including more than 2-step workflows. But for now, we'll get into it. Okay, so first things first, we want to make sure that we title our zaps because you got to know what's happening. So I have a very specific naming convention. I do the tech. So wherever we're sending the information, like, so first one is what the trigger is and then where we're sending it to. So Bloomerang to Handwritten, and it's a new donor thank you card. Yeah, just make sure that you name your zaps so they don't get lost. And then we're going to go into trigger, and we're going to do Bloomerang. And we're going to choose so you can see here, I've got Bloomerang, and then we're going to choose the trigger event. Trigger event is going to be a new transaction, and there's actually 2 of them. For this one, I think we're going to just go with transaction because we don't necessarily want to send thank yous with, well, oh wait, this one has the recurring donation. We'll go with this one. Okay, so this one, it also, why is it? It also splits the payment. So if somebody like has the fees, you can split that payment. And I'll show you what that means. All right, and then we want to go to our account. And so let me show you real quick how to set up an account. So when you create an account, this will pop up. If you're already signed into your Bloomerang, it's gonna say, okay, this is your account, grant access. Now I've already set this up, and so just if you go over here to Bloomerang, you go to settings, you go to integrations, integrated partners, settings, API keys. This is, Zapier is going to ask or could ask for this, so that's where you find that information. So back to our Zap, we've got the new transaction payment, we've got the account, continue. We do want the constituents giving history, so this allows us to see all of their details and their household information. This allows us to see like their address and things like that. And then it's going to test the trigger. Great. Okay, and then you want to go ahead and find your payment. Now, your records are important because you want to make sure that you find one that has, well, what I typically do is I go and donate or make sure that I choose a record that has, like, as I'm testing, I'm not accidentally like sending an email or something like that to a donor. So I make sure that it has my information. So you can see here there's multiple payments. I've modified this record so that it doesn't have my personal information, but this is the record the original record that I have, and I am using the slightly modified one. So you can see here that the method, so transaction $5, transaction date, cash, and then some different details. So remember, we had the difference between like a deductible amount and non-deductible. So if I didn't cover the fees on this transaction, so it's $5, but if I did, it would be like, 77 cents or whatever it is. Then, you can scroll down, see here, like, okay, these are like the different groups that they're in. And we've got Andrew Shepherd. Andrew Shepherd is my dog. You can see that you have the address. We've got the email address and phone number. Like, we've got all the information. Great. Okay. So we are going to select this record because this is a record we're going to be setting this Zap up with. Continue. Then we are going to choose Handwritten. Great. So you can see here that we've got the little green text. So Bloomerang is all set, good to go. This 2-minute means that anytime that like a donation comes into Bloomerang, it takes about 2 minutes for this Zap to trigger. It doesn't happen automatically. Okay, so action event. We are going to choose send a card. So you can send a card. Easy breezy. There are lots of different options. If you want to, if you're sending multiple cards at once, you can use this for each order and then send everything out all at once. Or if you're doing, you can schedule a card. So say that every donation that comes in, you want to make sure that you're sending, say you're doing an event and you want to set up thank you cards ahead of time. You can schedule the card and have it go out, after the event. For now, we are going to just send a card. And we are going to connect our account. Here we go. And this is the same thing. I select an account. If I want to create a new account, again, this Zapier connection will come up. I'll have to go and grab my API key from Handwritten, which is going to be over here under integrations, and then it has your API keys. Okay, so go over here. I'm going to use the one that I've been using, and we are going to click continue. Okay, so now it is time to configure the cards. So I'm going to pop this out so it's a little easier to see. And we are going to, so there's this plus sign. We want to make sure that we are using the data. So first of all, important to remember sender's first name. So this is coming from me. So Rachel, last name, Bearbauer. And this is where, so you can see here that I'm actually just like typing this information in because this information is going to be the same every single time. So okay, so then we have the address. Cool. Okay, so because it's a sender, it's same every single time, so it's okay that I just typed that in there. Now we are going to fill in the recipient's information, and what you want to do is go to the Bloomerang transaction. Remember, we pulled all of this data. So constituent's first name is Andrew. It says Andrew because that's the data that we are looking at. This also ensures that, anytime a new donation comes in, like it'll update the donor's information. This allows us to kind of double check that we're providing the correct information. So last name, Shepherd. He keeps popping up every time I say his name. We didn't ask for the organization name, and so we're going to skip that. We're going to go to address, Now, sometimes there's a lot of data points, so I like to just like search, like, okay. And sometimes they're like not in order, so you do have to kind of look for them. So we've got the street address. Okay, great. That's set up. The city. Middle of nowhere. Got it. State. Iowa. So it has the state, like the primary address state, and then the abbreviation. I mean, I think they're both going to get there. We'll go with the abbreviation because I think that's official. Oh, okay. So I accidentally added this twice. We want to make sure that only have one in there. That's going to mess things up. Okay. Then we want to add the zip code. Okay. It's called postal code here. And great. Okay. And then the recipient's country. Now, this one, if you have lots of like international organizations, you might want to filter them out. What I do here is change it to custom value, and then can look up the country code and put that here. So it's because what we had here before was a static value. Every address is going to be listed as United States. Now, you probably have international organizations. So we're going to go to custom. We're going to add the primary country code here. So if you have someone from Canada or from another country, you can go ahead, it'll populate that. And then we've got the address, the recipient's address all set up. Okay, now it's time to go to choosing the card. And so really what you do here is, now I'll hop over to Handwritten here in just a second, but you have lots of different options for like different cards that you want to send. But before you do that, you really want to go over to Handwritten and make sure that it's set up correctly. So what I have done is created a custom card. And what I did is I went into Canva and I created a card. And so we will go in here and we'll edit. And so I uploaded the card. I wanted to make sure that it was a full bleed. So you can see here that it's like cuts off. So image size. Oh, so image size doesn't fit. So have it right there. Okay, great. Looks good. Then I have, I've done this a couple of times, so I have additional images. So we're going to go to the next step. Then the back side of the image. Oh, yeah. Okay. It says back right here. So this is the back of the card, and I have a QR code that goes to my website. You can use your website. You can just have your logo. Like, you can put whatever you want, maybe a great picture of those that you serve. Lots of options. Okay. So then the inside top, I have my logo. Again, you can put whatever you would like. We've got the alignment. It is centered. Great. Next step. And then this is where, so inside bottom, if you want to have like a logo or something like that, I don't. Okay, next step, preview the card. How do we like it? I can see here that it looks like this back one looks a little too big. So we're going to go back and we are just going to make this image a wee bit smaller. There we go. Next step. So you really want to like take a look at it on the computer screen, but then I really encourage you, before you send this to donors, to make sure that you send yourself a card for yourself. Okay, so success, your custom card has been created. It's in the custom cards. Okay, so now we have a test. Now I am going to delete this one because I don't want to totally confuse myself. And I'm going to go to my automation presentation. This is the one that I've already created in the same exact way. So now I need to search for automation. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Searching card automation presentation. Awesome. Now, real quick, if you're like, yeah, I don't want to design anything, I maybe just want to like send like a thank you card, or thank you nonprofit. Okay, so there's all sorts of designs that you could choose from. Thank you for giving. You know, so there's definitely options that you don't have to create your own. I missed a little extra. So then you have to decide what is your writing style. And so they have a ton of different writing styles. You can go over here. Let's see. So if I want to one-off send this card, there we go. So right here, you can see like all of the different cards. And so, so I'm popping in some test font here so that I can kind of just see, you know, what the different font looks like, which one looks like mine. Let's see. You know, there's tons of different styles. You know, so you can kind of see which one is your jam. And so go back to your Zap, choose which card. I usually do Carefree Kate. And then once that's selected, then you put in your message. So then you can see here that we can personalize it. And so I am going to add first name Andrew. Great. Sometimes there's a space between the exclamation mark and the field, so you just want to like double check it. Again, this is why we test. And then there we go. If you want to, like, say if you're adding gift cards, maybe this is for volunteers or something like that, you can provide gift cards, Starbucks cards, like all kinds of things. I am not including a card. If you have an insert, you can provide that. Confirm delivery confirmation. Yes, actually, we don't actually need to know that. So then you just have to choose your card. So we'll go here. Oops, if we go over here to, okay, yes. Okay, so prepayment options or subscription plans, like depending on like what you want to send. So I usually do like a prepaid plan, and you can like see, there we go. So you can buy $250 and you get 15% off. And then you can, like, I always add the auto replenish, so that just in case like you run out of like your prepayment or whatever, you get like, so if it falls below 10, like if my total amount falls below 10%, we're going to add that. So I am not going to set this up right now because I've already done it. I don't want to totally screw it up. So we've got our card, continue. Great. Okay, so now we just want to make sure that we're gonna double check that all the information looks good. Now, if I do test step, it's going to send me a card. I don't want this to happen, so I am not going to test it all the way. I'm going to skip test. I would highly recommend not skipping the test. You need to definitely test it, make sure that everything is working, and then publish. And then your Zap is ready to go. And so now anytime that a new transaction goes in from Bloomerang, it is going to send a handwritten card to your donors. So that's how you do it. All right. I hope this was helpful. I'm excited to see the different ways that you use this. And yeah, good luck. Let me know if you have questions.
All right, a few modifications here. So the way that this is set up right now is any new payment that is made is going to be sent a card. Now, this is why you want to think a few steps ahead. So a few modifications here. Say that you actually only want to send cards to donors under $500. So we are going to add a step here, filter. Great. Now, we are going to continue only if the payment amount is less than, say, $499. Okay, so continue. And because this was a $5 donation, you can see here that this Zap would have continued. Okay, great. Let's say if we change that to greater than, continue. So this test would not, or this Zap would not have continued because this was a $5 gift. Okay, so we'll go back here. So that's option one. Maybe you, all right, another filter you might want to put in place is only continue if, okay, there we go. So if the primary address street exists, because if it doesn't exist, then you will likely get an error message every single time this Zap tries to fire because of a missing address. And Zapier likes to be really dramatic and kind of send you very alarming messages when there's something missing. Okay, so continue, and because there is that, we'll add that. Okay, great. Now let's say you only want to, let's see, say we want to send cards to first-time donors and not to monthly donors, or you want to send a different card to monthly donors. So then you can use the paths option of Zapier, and so then I can say, okay, so we've got some custom rules here. There's like some other different types of ways that you can configure this, but we'll just do custom rules, and we'll say continue only if, let's see. So this is why, like, say you want to do a recurring donor, you might want to sign yourself up as a recurring donor to see like the payment type. So this is a donation. I'm like 99% sure that the payment type for a recurring donation turns into recurring. So so for this path is, say, our one-time donor. I also like to rename things so that I remember. So one-time new donor. And so the payment type continue only if this contains or does not contain recurring. Continue. Great. Continue. And then we've already set up our card. This is for the one-time donor. Continue. Now let's go over here, say this is going to be our recurring. Rename, and we want to continue only if, now don't take my word for this, definitely test it because I am going off of memory here. So payment type is contains recurring. Continue. And you can see here that it would not have continued if, because this was a one-time gift. Now, say that this is a recurring gift. Great. Continue. So we're going to go over here, and with a recurring donor, maybe you actually want to not send them a card right away. You could add a delay. We could do a delay for the maximum amount that you can delay is, so the value is 30, unit is days. You can write weeks here. It will come up with an error. 30 days is the maximum that you can do a delay. So I'm going to skip the test here. And so we can delay this for 30 days. Now let's pretend this is for an event. I wouldn't necessarily do this all in one Zap. I would maybe make another Zap for this just to give you an example. So say it's an event donor, payment type, or we can go here. Do we have something for campaign? So if you have like a campaign ID, so maybe you only want to send, like if the campaign ID contains, event. My guess, campaign ID is actually going to be a number, but go with me here. I'm going to continue. Okay, so you can continue. And then maybe instead of delaying for a certain number of days, we are going to delay until we can put in like the day after the event. Great. And then it asks, how should we handle dates past the event? Continue up to 1 hour, continue for 1 day. So, if you filter in, okay. Okay, so lots of different options to kind of configure these. This goes for all the different Zaps that you might set up, but this is just a couple modifications that you could make because it's important. You don't want to just willy-nilly send them to everybody because somebody could end up getting the same card over and over again, and you don't want that to happen. So you need to think through some of the modifications that you might need to make to make sure that it feels really personalized to your donor and to your organization. And I mean, you can go really deep and get really granular. Try not to overthink it. Don't try to go too granular, because if you have too many filters, then donors might not actually get through, and then this Zap doesn't help you. But with the first way that I showed you this, you can totally do it on a free version. You just need to pay really close attention to who's getting the cards. But with the multiple steps, with the paths, this is the paid version. So I just want you to be aware of that. All right, I hope that this has been helpful, and please let me know if you end up doing this. I look forward to hearing how this helps your donor stewardship. All right, have a great day.